Hey, my beautiful bitches, it's me, Fiona St. James, and welcome to another episode of Fiona's Coffee Talks. And as always, I like to start off every day with a fresh, hot, black cup of coffee. Hold the cream! I'd love to. And of course, I think of my favorite quote of the century by Oscar Wilde, which says, life is too important to be taken seriously, so lighten up, folks. So today's topic is, drumroll please, travel time, part 7, yay! So hopefully you guys saw parts 1 through 6. So now, fast forward. It's 2017, and one of my best friends in the whole wide world, Bunnies. Hey, Bunnies. We travel really well together, and also my other friend, Droopy. Shout out to him because we travel well together too. So 2017, we decided let's go to Mykonos. Now, from an earlier video, I had only been to Europe at that point one other time, summer of '94, where I did go to London, Amsterdam, and Mykonos. So then here it is, 2017, 23 years later, and we went to Mykonos for about 9 nights, and it was magical. We stayed at the Axel Hotel, and we were like right in the heart of it. And you know, when you go to Mykonos, great food, great clubs, hot men. That church was still there that I spoke about in the other video where like people go back there and do God knows what. But, apart from the fact that the hotel itself, it was just beautiful and beautifully kept and gay and had like an outdoor pool on the rooftop and a bar and food and drag shows 7 nights a week. It was really just quite wonderful. Like you didn't even really have to leave the premises, even just kind of being there. I mean, of course you did because you wanted to go out to eat, but I even remember like the food that they served was really good, top-notch food. And the Axel Hotel, it's a gay hotel that's all over various places in Europe. I think like there's one in Barcelona. I think there's also one in Berlin. So, but so that's where we ended up staying. And so like going out to the bars, you could walk everywhere. Like you obviously didn't need a car or anything. I didn't go to the beach. When I went in '94, there was that Super Paradise beach that was like the big gay beach. But I don't think we went one time. Like being by the pool was just so wonderful. And, I always say you don't have far to fall in case you get a little tipsy. The only thing that happened that trip, which was kind of a bit of a mishap, it was 2017. So I had the Galaxy, like Samsung Galaxy 6, I think it was at the time, Ultra. So, and when you get to the fancier ones, they get bigger. So, I had the phone in my pocket, and even when I went out that night, I don't know why I thought I should bring my phone with me, but I did. And the pants that I had the phone inside of in the pocket was, I remember even thinking, ugh, this isn't smart because the phone was like technically too big for the pocket, but you probably could tell where this story is going. So halfway through the trip, one night I like made myself go out. I remember I wasn't even really in the mood, but there was this one particular club. Oh, what the fuck was it called? It wasn't very big, but for some reason this club played like all old 70s disco and 80s freestyle, and I was in love with it. So you found me there all the time dancing my butt off. So that night I was like, nah, I want to go. And I did. And at one point it's like I'm walking down these narrow streets, and I don't know if I felt that it fell out of my pocket, but I definitely felt like 1 second it was in, and suddenly I was like, but as quickly as I realized that and like turned and walked back and traced my steps, obviously someone picked it up. And I remember I even I really retraced my steps, even went like to the police station. But, at that point, there was nothing they could do. So it was a bit of a mind fuck because in my entire life, I've never, ever lost anything. People are always like, oh, I lost my keys. I've never, ever dropped the phone, lost the phone, or lost anything like that until that time. And I remember like it was, and I had had a couple of drinks. So, that kind of sobers you up quickly. But then at the same time, you get like, you're mad at yourself. So, the next day I called T-Mobile, long distance on Bunny's phone. Sorry, honey. And, they put a stop to it. And then they were sending me a new one, of course, back to the States when I got home. And I was halfway through my trip, and I remembered like that next day I was like not in a good headspace. It's funny how something like the phone, which is just a material thing, but it's become so much of our lifeline. You know, I barely even turn on my laptop because I do everything on my phone. And like I had taken pictures, and to like lose it, like when you're not home and then you really feel like lost, it was fucked up. But then by the next day, I knew I would be fine, because then all of a sudden I started making fun of myself. And then I was telling everyone, oh, I lost my fucking phone, and like making a joke of it. So whenever something dramatic happens, and then I suddenly find myself after a minute making fun of it and owning it and talking about it, that always tells me that I'm okay with it. So we proceeded to have a wonderful rest of the trip, and it was very freeing and liberating that for, because we were there, I think 8, 9 nights. So this was like halfway point. So I still had like 4 more nights. And there was something wonderful about not giving a shit about my phone, about not being able to text anyone, not being able to call. I think like through like the WhatsApp with my family, we have a little group. I think through Bunny's phone, I may have let them know I'm okay. You're not going to hear from me. I lost my phone. But yeah, and then I remember even when I got home and got my phone, I was like, ugh, I kind of like not having it. So anywho, but Mykonos was wonderful, and I did not let that ruin the trip. So if you guys have not gone, go check it out. The food is great. The people are great. The weather is great. Uh, you know, and it has such an old school feel to it. And I think it's magical. I look forward to going there again. So, all right, guys, don't forget, thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, tell your friends, follow all my other social media at Fiona St. James. The Saint is not spelled out, no period. And of course, don't forget my book, The Life and Crimes of Fiona St. James, which you could get at FionaSt.James.com. All right, guys, till the next time, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and love you.